Hey, this is Gecko Mayhem, and this is a Godforge reaction video. Today's video is called A Beta Surprise for You. So let's go see what it's all about. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Simon from Fateless. 2 weeks until we are going live with beta.
2 weeks.
Really excited. We've actually got about 100,000 people signed up to come into the game to play test. A couple of things you're going to really want to know when you get into that moment. You will be able to use the same game ID that you used for the mini game. So if you played in the mini game with us, it was about, I think in the end, it was about 30,000 of you. You'll be able to log in when you get to this first page. And you might see a little juicy reward if you do so. So if you come in and create an account, but the account already exists because you had it on the mini game, doing it wrong, you actually want to come in to log in. And let's see, which one did I use? I think it was this one. So,
I think it was that one too.
This was the one I used for the mini game. And then obviously I get into my login. So it's basically it's allowing me through because that account already exists. And you want to be doing that because you want to try and consolidate your mini game rewards along with your beta rewards that you're going to gain. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you're going through these steps. You can play, by the way, on a PC, on a Mac, on iOS or Android. I've played on my iPhone 17. It runs like a dream. Does run pretty hot, won't lie. I've also played on my Samsung S25 Ultra, which I really got to show the game off in like events and stuff. It plays beautifully on this phone, like actually better than my iPhone. But yeah, it does. Both phones run a bit hot. So I would say if you have got a phone that does not yet have 6 gig of RAM, then your phone's going to probably need to be on low settings for the game. You can see on my PC, I've got like a 15 gig download to get into the game. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to show you some of the beta stuff. So we'll get you through our tutorial, which kind of like gives you the basics of playing the game, but it's very quick. It's very much like we want people to get into the game as fast as possible. And any of the sort of character stuff is voiced. I definitely say put the sound on, give it a go, and see what you think. But yeah, it is feeling actually really, really solid as like a base of the game. You'll then get to the point where you need to confirm your name. Now, this can be any name you choose. Whereas the login stuff is actually based on your PlayFab ID if you did the minigame. If not, you'd just be setting up a new account. So a bit of a surprise here because we didn't think we were going to get this in time, but we have. If you were a minigame player, you will be logging into your account. That's why it's really important you log in with the right information at the start. You'll be able to get into your account and you'll have a mail here saying, Godforge Go rewards. Thank you for playing Godforge Go. Your rewards have been added to your inventory. And then what you'll find is your hero that you locked in. I've just turned on dev mode. We will find that I've got 2 of Heimdall because Heimdall was the one I locked in on this email address. So you'll find that you've got 2 of Heimdall in your account. And he was my minigame reward. And you'll also find your weapon and your imprint will be on your account as well. So yeah, exciting stuff. Means that people that participated in the mini game are going to have an extra hero to play around with from the start. There's also a few things that are in here. So if you play, if you had like multiple like mini game accounts, you can switch account here and sort of restart on a separate account in your Fateless ID area. That's good. Settings. So go into your profile page. You can obviously pick up a few rubies and stuff like that as well. This is also where you find settings if your mobile, for example, is not playing nice with what we've got set up. Then you can turn the quality onto low, and yeah, obviously make sure that you're either going for performance or quality or whatever. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can play around with here to try and get the best out of your devices. So believe it or not, the main purpose of a beta test is actually to give us feedback, right? So what feels good, what does not. We're going to be looking for feedback on the enjoyment level of just playing the game, going through the sort of different elements that we've built into the game, like the weapon system, the ultimate system, combat. Does that feel good to you? You know, is the pacing feeling good as you work your way through campaign? Is it challenging enough? Is it maybe too challenging, do you think? You're going to work your way through story campaign. We're going to have a adventure mode, which is basically going to be like an upscaled difficulty, and then there's also a heroic mode. If anyone beats heroic mode in 2 weeks, I'm going to be like, damn.
2
I
weeks.
have no idea how you've managed to do that because it's really bloody hard. So you would
2 week
definitely need
beta.
like full teams of 60s to be able to do it, and I think that's going to be really tough to do in the sort of beta period. You're also going to have access to dungeons, so you're going to be able to go through the 4 Ascension dungeons. Then we're going to want feedback on, are the boss mechanics feeling varied enough? Is it enjoyable for you? Do you like having to build different teams to be able to take on different bits of content? We're then going to have 3 of the other dungeons available as well. One of which is focused on weapons, which is going to be Hag's Hollow.
Yep.
And then 2, which is focused on armor sets, which is the Workshop of Patar and Svarog's Horde. So, again, do you have good variety here? Are you picking up decent sets which feel interesting to you to use?
Right.
All of that type of stuff. We're also going to be showering you with cool stuff, so you're going to get a good amount of rewards to do things like summons. Is that feeling fun to you? Are you feeling like you've got a good roster that's building up? Again, a lot of it is about game feel, pacing, and we'll be sending out surveys regularly, basically asking for your feedback on different areas of the game. Things like the Birth of the Scion. Is this a good introduction to you in terms of just a small quest line to really help you into the game? Do the progress missions like help you along in the right sort of pace? Are our sort of daily rewards giving you what you need in that early game to really feel like you're engaged with Godforge and enjoying it? All of those type of things really to help us get to the point where we've built a really great game. So beta 1 is kind of around those pacing. Things like the Bazaar is open. We're going to want feedback specifically around the different sort of RNG packs we've got in here, which I think are kind of fun. So this is one of the areas where I spend a lot of gold in here because it just feels really fun to do so for me. But really interested in what you guys think. The box of mysteries I literally buy every single day. So for me that's fun. And then we've got other things like the store. So there's going to be no spending in beta, but there is areas in the store that you can access, like the Ruby shop. There's a calendar you can pick up. There's this exclusive pack as well. So we want to see what people decide to spend their rubies and their different currencies on whilst they're playing through the beta. We're also going to be collecting a lot of analytic data. So how long are people playing for? Are people coming back day after day because they're enjoying the game? Is there particular areas where people they get to it and then they just stop playing because they found it too difficult or too frustrating or whatever? There's a whole lot of stuff that we're going to be measuring in the background, because as we go from sort of beta 1 towards the second beta, where we unlock things like the arena mode, the tower mode, and pantheons, again it's just like a more broad experience of what's available in the game. And then obviously we work towards early access, where we're now focused on bringing some of those original features that we wanted for our release back onto the table, and basically saying, right, we do want things like a draft mode. We do want some of these extra features which kind of enable the community to really sort of bond together. So lots going on still. We're actually just going into DEF CON 3 today. Apparently some people are saying we've got our DEF CONs the wrong way around. Don't care. DEF CON 3 for us means now we're only fixing critical bugs or bugs that would block us being able to release. So even though we're 2 weeks out, we've already got to that point where we don't really tamper with the build a lot anymore. Okay, we basically got what we're classing as a release candidate, so that we're not last minute trying to change a whole bunch of the game, which actually can have knock-on issues for players. So right now it's just all about stability, getting rid of any bugs that would block us playing the game, and unfortunately, this is the hardest thing, us basically saying, well, all of those things we know about, which are small issues, we're basically now saying we're comfortable that they're going to go into this beta. And that's the way you have to do things like this, because otherwise you would never get to a release point. So we're still on track. May the 19th. Make sure your friends come and sign up as well. Send them off to Fateless.gg. I'll link that down below, and get them in the mix. And we will see you in game in a couple of weeks. I've been Simon from Fateless. I'll see you soon.
Well. Account stuff pretty self-explanatory. Game's looking really good. Access to those dungeons is pretty cool. We get the Ascension dungeons, so you'll be able to get all of those materials for whichever affinity your heroes are that you want to level up to the maximum ascension level. And there was discussion of ascension in the recent podcast episode where they talked about the impact of actually ascending heroes and at the different ascension levels, like 2-star, 4-star, 6-star ascension, what the rewards should be in terms of that character and how they progress, and whether it's just a stat upgrade or you unlock something. And there are unlocks for ascension, so go check that out. Yeah, so you've got your dungeons, weapon dungeons, armor set dungeons, so that's really cool. We already knew that those were going to be in the beta. What else? I think the main purpose of this video is to let us know that we are getting our mini game rewards, which is cool because a lot of us assumed that for the beta, which is not early access, we were not going to get our mini game rewards right off the bat, but we are. So I am going to start my main account with Vivian as my legendary, and the weapon that I chose, which I believe was Excalibur, and the Morrigan imprint. That's cool. The other main purpose of the video was to basically remind people of what a beta is. And that is, they want feedback. Now, the data that they collect, the numbers, such as this many people logged in over this period of time, they engaged with XYZ for this period of time, they have the hard data that they can pull. They know who's logging in. They know basically what activities people are doing on their account. They know hopefully, they know the devices that people are using. So whether the majority are testing on PC, testing on Android, testing on iPhone, and so on, they will have that hard data, right? That's going to be the data that they can gather. But what they won't know is how people feel about the game. And that is where we come in. So that was what this video was about. Reminding us that the beta is for us to provide core feedback to make it a better game. I'm hyped for beta, 19th of May, however 20th here where I live, so that's why I always say 19th and 20th of May. I hope that you enjoyed this reaction video. There wasn't a lot for me to unpack, there wasn't a lot for me to talk about or discuss. I am super stoked about beta coming in a couple of weeks. I'm highly looking forward to it. Keep an eye out for more videos that I put out as well. I do have a video coming out pretty soon, and it's going to be about the top 5 epic heroes to look out for during beta. I'm Gecko Mayhem. As I said, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.